friends, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today for part 2 of my interview with Jeff Tolley. In part 1, we discussed his amazing near-death experience and had a wonderful conversation about healing and spiritual growth. That will be linked in the description along with all of Jeff's contact links. Today, we're going to be talking about some more details of his near-death experience, such as what past lives he saw, lives on other planets that he viewed, as well as what the future of the Earth is that he was shown in his near-death experience. Thank you so much for watching. Here's Jeff.
I decided that I was going to do this work, and that's what I did. But I suffered greatly for it too. I don't recommend anyone doing what I did, but there should be some balance within it. Like, I'm going to do this many hours of inner work per week and, and have it a part of your life, like your routine. It's important.
I love that advice. Thank you for everything you've shared. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about your near-death experience?
Absolutely.
That I know my viewers are going to want to hear about.
Yeah, fire away.
Okay. So you mentioned that you saw many past lives. Do you know about how many you had?
Well, it goes way back, but I think I saw the ones that were relevant for this life. So that's the way I kind of viewed it. So what came up was relevancy to this life. But it goes back. If you want to do a linear time, it goes way back. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think, the idea of old or new soul, I think we're all old souls. We all are. I think what separates it is the experiences of those souls will create more energy, more signature on that level. That's what creates this old new soul. But I think we're all old souls. We've been around all of us have been around a very long time. Some souls are different in the sense of some of the experiences they've had. And that's kind of what gives that separation.
Right. Were all of your past lives on Earth, or did you see other planets?
I saw planetary. Yeah, I saw extraterrestrial stuff too.
Do you want to share what any of those were?
Yeah, there's some which I believe was a Sirius-based thing. It was very salamander-y type creatures, watery, very blue. There was another one of like light blocks. So it was a world where everything was built out of blocks of light. So everything was translucent. I even had one that was just like a blob of goo, whatever that is. I had animal ones too. But here's the thing with animal stuff. Like, the animal thing was weird. It was if I was looking through the eyes of these various different things. So I just want to be clear that what I believe, me looking through the eyes of all these different things, was a past life, although it could have just been me getting a reflection of different perspectives of different beings. From animals to other lives to other planets, and then, yes, many Earth. One really strong was being a knight, like a Templar. And that was a really strong part of the experience. That's the whole knight theme. It comes from the knight theme. Even when I was little, I had a draw to the medieval times, the knighthood, all that secret order stuff. That's been a big part of my life. But that was the past life one that really was prevalent in my experience, as far as what that represents. So bringing that energy forward, the idea of a knighthood or brotherhood of some sort, or like a warrior of something, a warrior of truth or something like that, is really important.
Interesting. You mentioned that you saw your future, and I know some of that may be personal, but is there anything that you can share as far as the future of where we're headed and how we can get there?
Yeah, technology is different. It's translucent. I think they're showing it in the movies now. You see how the movies, they have these like clear computers that they move stuff. It's going to be like that. Technology is going to be more like that. So technology was different. The vehicles in my vision seemed very futuristic. So it was a different feel of the vehicle, different look altogether. Even looked like different material. It didn't even look like the plastics that you see. It looked a little different. But ultimately the school was, it was very castle-like, very university-like. It was very stone and wood. So it still kind of looked like more like a modern day castle school, if you will. But the sky, it was the air, it was something. And I think what changes it is going to be the disclosure, the existence of extraterrestrials. I think they're going to have a very large play in the coming next 10 years. But whether they have technology that cleans the air, I don't know. I have no clue because none of that was shown, but I can only presume that they have a role in helping clean the earth up. I would presume. But the air was very fresh and very clean. It just looked more crisp, more, like more, it was different. The smell, and I didn't see, but it was so obvious that the feeling of the earth was very peaceful. Like that we see has been wiped. It's gone. So what we see is all this control happening and division and all this evil agenda that's being trying to push. It's not there. It's been wiped out. It's gone. So something comes in and removes all of that. Now, I don't know what, but
wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, you mentioned too. It's like we're getting like really close to something really big. It's gonna get wild. It is gonna get. It's gonna get wild. Exciting though. Exciting. Maybe exciting, but maybe also very. I don't know. Horrifying too. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna really look like, but if I were to look at my life in kind of like the micro way of this as being dark to light, I will say that the closer I got to peace and abundance and happiness, it was like more darkness appeared. So it got darker and darker until eventually it got like dark, and then the tables flipped. So I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it's going to get better because it's getting worse. And I think we're seeing it getting worse because we're getting closer to a better reality, to more light. That's the only thing I can really place on it, because that's what happened with my own personal life of change. If I take that and then I make it, expand it to like everyone, then that makes sense. It's going to get really nasty and dark and kind of horrible before we switch it off. And it's like a pendulum's going to swing, is what it feels like. And it feels like we're right there at that beginning of the swing. So I guess we'll see how it works, how it plays out.
Yeah. Is there anything that we can do to help that process along?
Yes, I think that we need to start not acting out of fear. So I think that the more we don't buy into the stories and narratives of what's being put out there, and we start to act and behave from a place of love and unity and start taking care of ourselves more and doing this inner work, I think that's what we need to do. And just stop buying in and stop feeding the monster of negativity and division and fear. And because right now that's what they're doing, because that's all they know what to do as far as control. If we don't buy into it, then they don't have the power of it. I mean, it's that simple. It really seems as if they are using emotion. So people that are like heavily emotional things lose logic and sanity. And that's what it looks like is going on. Like there's no real sanity left. It's like everyone's lost their damn minds. Everyone's running, not everyone's like people are running off of this heavy fear-based emotional stuff. And that's what needs to change too. We got to start thinking a little more clearly and being more logical about things. But fear puts us in that emotional state, and then we can't think right. This is why they use fear as a tactic, because they know what fear does to people. It makes them irrational and not logical. So let's become more logical about things, and let's not be so also on one end or the other. I have a very balanced approach about what's going on, where there's these very extreme views. And I've learned that you're never going to find the truth on either end of these extremes. It always exists between two polar opposite extremes. So if you ever want to find the truth of something, it's in the middle of two polar opposites. That's where you're going to find what's really going on. So you look at both ends of the spectrum and then bring yourself to the middle of that. That's more what's going to be truthful and then more balanced, and you can live from that place. So finding that balance is really important. I'm not afraid of anything that's going to happen or go on. I know there's going to be a change, and I'm absolutely excited for it. And I can't wait to do what I need to do and really kind of step into my role here. I think it's going to be amazing.
Wow, thank you for that advice, especially about looking in the middle of the two extremes. I think that's really helpful. But Jeff, I'd like to give you a chance to share more about what you do. You have a website and a YouTube channel, and I think you alluded to teaching that you do also. So what would you like to share with us?
So I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't posted for a very long time. I do plan on posting there again, but I do have about maybe 20 things people can check out if they want to check it out. I talk about different various topics. As far as my website, I run mentors, but those are one-on-one and I'm not really doing those. If someone really wanted that, you can get a hold of me through my email, but I'm not necessarily doing those. But I am building more of a digital course, and everything that we talk about as far as what to do, the deconstruction, the separating all the different elements and how we can really make these steps forward within ourselves, because it's all about internal discovery and transformation. I'm going to have a course. I'm still in the process of making it, but I'm so close to being done. So on my YouTube, I'll be coming out with when that's done. I would maybe wait, if you're interested, until that's done. It's going to be incredibly affordable. I wanted it out there for anyone. I don't want it to be expensive. The one-on-one could be a little more expensive, but then you're working with me just one-on-one. So it's different. But I would, wait for the course, because I've been working on this course too for years. So this thing was not just slapped together. It's actually really going to be amazing. I'm excited for this. I'm just so excited to get it out there. I know it's so practical. It's so common sense, but it's going to push people so forward. It's going to be amazing. So it took me many years to get it. And I'm just in the filming process now. So I got everything else done. Now it's just getting put into film and edit. So I expect it to be done in the next month or so. But anyway, I'll have something up on my YouTube when I am ready. But you can check out my YouTube channel called The Night Sky, Night with a K. The website is thenightskyacademy.com. And then, from my YouTube, you'll know more about the course that I'm making. I also have an email that people can get a hold of me at, thenightskyacademy@gmail.com. So it's my own personal email. So if you got questions, feel free to email me. I do get back to everyone eventually, but I will take private emails. And if anyone wants to email me, go ahead, email me. I'm all for having little chats and stuff. So if you're interested in the mentorship, email me. Whatever you want. Yeah, whatever people want to talk about, I'm open for that.
Jeff, thank you so much for being willing to have this conversation. I've really, really enjoyed talking to you and learning from your experience.
You bet, Melissa. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course.